Bam. Okay. We are live. What is up, everybody? Let's get going. I'm going to give everybody a second to join another edition of Friday Batch Driven Live. So, as we get started, I'm just going to pull up a couple windows for the live today. So, guys, as you join in, we should be live. Looks like on all the Facebook groups, including Batch Driven and Pace's YouTube channel today. Moving forward, we're probably going to create a YouTube channel just for Batch Driven to do these lives and our weekly check-ins and some other cool 990 challenge stuff that we want to do. So look out for that. I'll probably put it in the Facebook groups this week. But as we get going, guys, as always, it's Friday. It's time to get pumped up. Batch driven, some 990 challenge updates. It's going to be super duper exciting. I can't wait to hear what you guys had to say from the past week. How has the challenge been going for you? We have some things that we want to update as well. So as we get going, if you guys put in the comment section like how it's been so far, right? Also, where are you guys at? Where are you driving for dollars? Are you driving for dollars in your local market, or are you virtually driving for dollars here in Phoenix? Would love to get your guys' take. And how is that going? Are you like texting within the app? Or are you driving for dollars within the app? How is that going? So put it in the comment section here. I got to open up one more window just in case I do my screen share. I might actually have my VA join me today who's helping me virtually drive for dollars. Do you guys want that, or should I just tell him, nah, we'll just go without it? So if you guys want to hear from my virtual assistant what he's doing and what's working, put it in the comment section. Bring him on. If you guys just like don't want to hear that at all and you want me to bring you guys on, let me know that too. So I'll be happy um, to bring some folks on for this live today, like especially the folks that are doing the 990 and you're just getting going, and you have some questions, just let me know. I can always text you a link and you can join me in as well. So let's do it. I'm going to bring up the challenge folder real quick. Let's see. Whoops, wrong email. Okay. 90. Oh, and by the way, does everybody have the 990 challenge folder? Because you should by now. If you don't have the 990 challenge folder, um, email me at mattbeard um, at vahub.com. That's mattbeard at vahub. I'm going to put it here in the comment section. .com. If you don't have the folder, I know what's been really cool is you guys have been sharing it amongst yourselves because I suck at getting back to everybody within a timely manner. So that's super helpful. Thank you guys for that. Mattbeard at vahub.com for the, let's see here. There you go. If you don't have access to the folder, mattbeard at vahub.com. I'll be sure to get it to you. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Roger, back again, baby. I love it. Thomas from Wisconsin. How's that going? Are you doing it in Wisconsin or are you doing it in Phoenix? What markets are you guys driving for dollars in? Craig, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Another Friday in the books here. I appreciate you coming on and watching our lives. I know this is in between work for you, so thanks for coming on, man. Leanna, what is up? I hope you're doing well. Let me know what's going on with that lead. I know you had text me that you wanted some help with a Baltimore subject too. Let's do it. I'm excited. It's as interesting, guys. Leanna is actually in Canada. Is that right, Leanna? And you're doing basically your whole business virtually. That's really, really, really cool. Um, Ian says, "Hi, Matt. Thanks for getting back to me about yes, of course, guys. Even if I don't give it you back to you within a time like within the same day, I try to now with all the emails coming in. I try to go through those at least twice right on in the afternoons, like late at well, 6 to 8 o'clock is like my non-negotiable time that I spend with my wife and our little baby. So like outside of that, like after 8 o'clock, sometimes I go back through and um answer the emails that I have left in the inbox. Let's see here. I'm gonna copy the invite and add my VA in real quick. Hang on. What's up? His name is Sari, guys. There we go. Just send it to him. Um, cool. Perfect. He should be joining us here shortly. What's up, guys? How is the 990 challenge treating you? I'm going to give you guys some updates here in a second. Leanna would love for you to look at this deal for me. You got it. I'll be happy to. I promise. Just if you want to send me a message right now, so after the live, we can hop on and we can look at it. I want to get some details about, the mortgage and kind of what the situation is. And yeah, we'll give him a call and we'll see what we can do. Awesome. So what have you been doing for the 990? Like, are you working out of the gym? Or are you doing all like at home workouts? I think that's been very interesting for a lot of folks that I've talked to, because some states like California still doesn't have, like, the gyms are still closed for the most part. So yeah, it's been very interesting. I love to hear you guys' story. I'm in my local market, but it's tough getting 30 a day in some areas. Yeah, I mean, so you're in California, I believe, because I saw your list. I mean, some of those areas are just really nice, and the properties, like, it's pretty tough to drive and try to find a spot that it's gonna net 30 properties. Plus, depending on where you're at, traffic is probably pretty crazy. So, virtually driving for dollars might be the answer. I would definitely pick a metropolitan area because the photos are going to be updated more than rural areas. So, but virtually might be the answer, Naomi, once you run out of properties. So let me add him in. What's up, Sari? How we doing, man?
Doing really good. How's it going,
Awesome,
Matt?
awesome, brothers. Doing good. We got our folks here. We're that are doing the 990 challenge, and I was like, you know what? Why
Awesome.
don't why don't I just bring in our virtual assistant, Sari? He does virtually driving for dollars every single day, and we can talk a little bit about what your process is. Um, from the time you get started, what you're looking for, and how you go about marketing to these folks and having conversations. But what I want to do first is I'm just answering some of their questions, and I'm going to give them some updates on the 990 challenge itself. So,
Cool.
perfect. So, guys, I guess if you haven't seen Sari on a live before, I think you were on one live before. But he is our full time batch driven badass, like, dude. He does everything batch driven. That's Sari. So, Sari, say what's up.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? I hope you guys are having a great day. Yeah, since I started with Matt, I mean, well, technically speaking, I've been on Batch Driven for less than 3 weeks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I'm loving the process. Everything's new to me, but, as Matt said, I'm rocking it, I guess.
Yes, dude. I think for you, it's just a matter of finding the right areas, and
That's
that's what
right.
I wanted to tell folks on this live is. And I think Naomi, you're saying, yeah, I think that's what you're saying in your comment too. Is you can like you, it could take a really long time to add 30 properties if you're in the wrong spots, if the
Right.
properties are too nice. You know,
Right.
I think Sarah, you probably had the similar experience when you were in like Scottsdale and some of these nicer areas. You're like, dude, all these properties are nice.
That's true. There was even a day wherein, I was spending what whole day of my shift, and I just had what 5 properties in
Yeah.
Scottsdale. I mean, you gotta really find, I guess you have to be lucky to find the right spot in the right neighborhood to be, to produce some results, and that's what I did.
Right. Well, yeah, because I didn't communicate it with you, but I think
That's
for
okay.
folks that are like trying to find the hotter areas, it's I would see where all the cash transactions are taking place in your local market. If you're not doing here in Phoenix, like, for if you are virtually driving for dollars here in Phoenix, I'll be happy to give you guys like the hot areas. And I kind of circled them off on a map. It's nothing fancy. It's just I just took my phone and circled areas. Working classes. The median price point is on the lower end here in Phoenix. So, low 200s is where they're at. But with that, it's a free for all the flippers. Like that is a perfect price point for most, like even the flippers that are doing, you know, one every month, maybe one every 2 months kind of deal, to the folks that are pumping flips out all the time. So it's important to find the right areas where the price point fits the criteria of where like just the average flipper will buy. And if you can sell it to just the average flipper, they're going to pay more for the property. So um, for guys that aren't in Phoenix, I would recommend finding the heat map. I'm going to show you, and I know list source you can pull codes where all the transactions are happening, and just going into those zip codes and trying to ugly properties, because there's a reason why all the activity is happening in those areas. So check that out for sure. Yes, driving local market and partnered with TTP Nate Barnett. Tons of homes. Awesome. Eden, what's your local market? Let's see. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of comments. Trying to go through it. Just lower your standards and you can get 30 a day easy. Yes,
True.
definitely. I mean, we we love mobile homes here in Phoenix. I mean, the reason why mobile homes work great here, number one, there's a lot of older folks moving and living here, a lot of snowbirds that come and go. Number two, there's no natural disasters that happen and look like Wizard of Oz and take it off to somewhere, right? Like everything here, there's not really anything crazy. Like we have some rainstorms come in. There's no, they're called like haboobs, but like past that, like there's no like earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes. So mobile homes are really attractive here, and they're an affordable housing option for folks that maybe can't afford to buy that house in the mid two hundreds to 300,000. So we love mobile home neighborhoods, especially, and then also the neighborhoods where there's no HOA. Again, that's like it's a free for all in there. You see what people who actually want to take care of their property, not having someone down their neck like, hey, cut your grass, hey, fix this, fix that. The non HOA neighborhoods are great because people are just going to do what they want to do, and typically you're going to find some ugly ones in there. Let's see. Yes, Leanna, I would be happy to look at that deal for you. Fred, what's up, man? Hey, I've been seeing your posts on BatchDriven. Doing awesome, man. I'm super excited for you. I saw where you sent me a list this morning. As long as you exported it into a CSV and sent it over, it's good to go. And I think that is something that I want to talk about today. I saw some lists being sent over that were like all different sorts of formats, PDFs, Excel files that didn't have the first name, last name, street address, city, state, zip. When it's not in that format, it has to be formatted in that way for batch leads to even like recognize it and then for them to skip trace it. So if you just export it as a CSV and send it, it's already formatted correctly. So, Fred, I think you did that. Yours is good. But I also want to say, like, I know we have a ton of folks. We have so many people doing the 990 challenge. I think it's a little over 300 that have reached out to get the access to that 990 challenge folder. Again, guys, if you haven't, mattbeard at vahub.com, be happy to give it to you. But I'm not seeing the list every week. So I think last week we had seven seven people send me their list. And then this week we'll see what Friday. Like obviously the cutoff guys is going to be on Saturday. So I mean we have the funds set aside to skip trace your list and mark it to them, but I just need you guys to send them to me. That's it. So I know last week was really the first week of folks sending like who had sent a list and us marketing to it. But as this goes on, I can see this where we're going to start getting a lot more data in. But I just want to make sure that I plug that in that you guys know if you want us to text, you want us to cold call, you want us to negotiate with the sellers to get contracts and dispose the property. Get you this list, and of course, like those who do, um, you're going to be entered into like the giveaway that we're doing, and it's pretty cool. As far as the list that we've been sent over, I know we had Someone sent me a list in Washington, which is fine. Naomi, I know yours was in California, and then the rest were primarily in Arizona. So from the list that we have three hot leads right now. Haven't got a signed contract from the data we have. I think grand total it was like 800 properties or something. So that's why I want to tell you guys like to make sure to send over your property. You know, do our best to do our due diligence to get these deals. He's actually had been doing his virtual driving for dollars, and Laura had been helping him, and we got a lead from his list too. So some pretty cool stuff. Of course, like every week when we do these check-ins, I want to let you know, like, hey, we got a contract. Hear it from your data. Like, congratulations, you're gonna get 50% of the deal. So we're really excited. I know Naomi. Again, you sent me a list. Robin Hurt. Robin, if you're watching, you sent me the list out there, and in Washington. Geoff, I know you sent me the ones here in Phoenix, and we had some other ones here and there. So I just want to keep you guys in the loop from the data that are being sent. Just make sure that it's formatted so it doesn't add an extra step in what we're doing. But so the first batch of text went out. We have 3 leads plus Pace's lead, so 4 total. You know, we'll let you guys know. Like, I feel really confident that we should get at least 2 contracts from that. Um, and then, of course, as this goes on, we'll keep you guys in the loop because we're going to do another follow up campaign. So that's just from the first touch. So that's the exciting part. Awesome. What's going on? Needing help new to mentorship. Okay. So are you in the subject to mentorship? Are you just getting started with the 990 challenge, or what do you need the most help with? Because this isn't just all about, like, yes, I know it's a batch driven live, but you know, the folks that are watching, the folks that are commenting in here, we're all in the same business. So if we can help you with anything that you got, or anything that, you know, any questions that you have, not just me, not just Sari, but the folks here in the group, I'm sure would be happy to help you any way we can. Ryan, what's up, dude? Good to see you, Ryan. Leanna, I need help with it still. Yes, got it. 100%. I saw where you just sent me a message, so love it. Joe, what's up, man? How's the door knocking going, or driving for dollars? I know you were going to be networking with some of your local buyers and stuff. I wonder how that's going. Have you got any hot leads? Got a deal yet? I'm really excited to hear because I know it was probably like what, 3 weeks ago, maybe a month, where you came on and you were commenting like you're just getting started. So really love to hear like how that's going for you. Yes, like she's in Canada, guys, and she's doing her whole business virtually. That's really really cool. For me personally, I had a big like limiting belief. I didn't think that I could go into other markets. I thought like if I'm going to negotiate, I got to be in person because I can explain it better, I can build better rapport, you know, I can do all these, like it has to be in person. But what happened was COVID, right? COVID
True.
happened, and it's like,
Right.
yo, well, now you can't do that. You can't just go meet everybody. And plus, we had a baby on the way at the time, so it was like I can't really risk going to go like to sellers and do it. So had to go virtual, and it's been a game changer. So Leanna, that's really cool that you did it from the very beginning. Um, Claudio, Matt, should you skip on the spot, or should you build a list and skip it and call it after? So, Siri, what do we typically do on your daily basis?
Yeah, what I would normally do is I will, definitely build a huge list and then go for skip tracing, and then afterwards, call them. So I think that's the most um, time efficient approach and how you can deal with this, and it's been working with me so far. So yeah,
Definitely, bro. Because like we were trying that, we're like, okay, well, every time you find an ugly one, skip trace it,
right,
call it, text it, and that takes forever.
true. And you're gonna have a hard time to build up a list, if you keep calling him one at a time. So I strongly suggest you build that list first and start calling him after. So
Right. So the first thing, the thing that we're doing, guys, is we're building a big list. Like we're building like a very niche list, but we want to add as many properties as we can to that list. And what I do is, I mean, some folks do it on a daily basis, but I do it on a weekly basis. Um, Depending on how many properties we add, is, at the end of the week, just like I'm telling you guys to send it on Friday, we'll create a new campaign for the following Monday for that list that we built. We spent all week, driving for dollars, virtually driving for dollars like Sari. And we take our pool of properties that we found. Again, we're not just trying to add anything. We want them to be really ugly, right? They got broke down cars in the driveway with
Right.
overgrown grass, with fascia boards that need painting, the house need painting, the windows look busted, blinds look terrible, whatever. Like we want,
Roof.
yeah, roof, side gate falling apart. Like you're looking for these things, and they have to have multiple issues, right? Not just one of those things. It has to have multiple issues. And primarily with the house, we want it to have, like, if it has like three or four, awesome. Let's get them on the list. So we're building this thing out every single week, and we're adding only the ugliest properties to it. So come Friday, I know that all the properties that are on this list are like, there's a really high likelihood that if we can get in touch with the right person, that they may entertain a cash offer on their property. So we do it on a weekly basis. We've tried it. I've had Sari do a lot of things. I've had Sari do one off. I've had Sari do it every single day, right? But
Right.
I'm always thinking, like, how can we be more efficient? How can we be more
That's true.
efficient? And I think one of those ways is doing it on a weekly basis, having a big list, and then marketing it to it, like within a platform. Like I just do like big batches. And the cool thing about BatchDriven is you can send a batch of text, and then you can have it already scheduled to get another text 2-3 days later, and another text 3-4 days later, like however you want to set it. You can do that in BatchDriven. So really, really cool to do that. So what Sari does, guys, is he actually cold calls in the beginning before he starts to shift now. And again, every day Sari starts to shift, like not really. He's like, okay, what are we doing today? So we're tweaking the process of, like, okay, how can we get on the phone with the people in a very efficient manner, get Sari to respond to text. But the main thing I want Sari doing is driving for dollars, right? So his time that he's driving for dollars, he's just driving for dollars. That's like that's what I want him doing, not distracted, answering texts, not distracted, um, calling. Like we have a team of virtual assistants that do that for us now. We have a team of virtual assistants that can text while Sari's driving. We have a team of virtual assistants that can cold call other campaigns while Sari's driving, right? But before Sari starts to shift, he actually cold calls. We've created a campaign of all of his driving for dollar properties and mine. We put it into our dialer, and Sari goes through that list. He gives him a call for about the first hour and a half to two, and then he hops on BatchDriven and he starts driving. So,
Right.
you know, and as you guys can tell, Sari's like communications, like, listen to this guy. He's good. He's good.
Come on, man.
For real, dude.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, bro. Mara says, watching here is
Hey,
entertaining.
what up, girl?
What up, girl? If for guys that don't know, Mara's on our team. She's a lead manager. Jim, what's up, Matt? What's up? Austin, Texas. Are you driving for dollars in Austin? How's that going? Northern California. Yep. That's got to be tough. How is it? Is there bad traffic in Northern California? I mean, I'm assuming there is. I don't know. Or is it the property's just a little bit more spaced out? What do you think's like the biggest challenge for you? I don't want to generalize and speak for you. But what do you think's like the biggest challenge adding those properties? 50/50 home and driving for dollars. That's awesome. I know for me personally, I do something similar, just depending on what I have going on that day. Some days, yes, I don't want to make the time excuse, but I could certainly like take a little bit of time to go drive for dollars. Like yesterday, I went to the gym, and then before I went home, I just went and drove and got like 33 properties, and then went back home. So I think there's always time to do it, but sometimes it's just more efficient for me. Like Monday and Tuesday is all meetings, so I get through that day. Like by the end of the day, I'm just like, I'm just going to virtually drive for dollars, and then on Wednesday, it's back to the grinding stone. So, um, yeah. Yo yo, Meech. Yeah, we Bianca, we got to get Meech on here as well, because Meech also virtually drives for dollars for our team. So we have Sari and Meech. So we try to, again, we're just trying to build a very niched, awesome list that like is not, because the thing is, I think a lot of folks, you got to understand, when you drive for dollars, this property is probably on someone's list, right? It's probably on someone's high equity list, right? But a high equity list has got so many properties on it. I mean, you're talking about a data sheet that, especially here in Phoenix, I mean, it's probably upwards to 100,000 records, right? So what we're doing with our driving for dollars is we are taking that, and instead of like trying to find that needle in the haystack of 100,000 people, is we find them directly just by driving for dollars, right? So we're not trying to sort through all this data. We're able to keep our marketing funds very 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 efficient, and we can get in front of the right people. Not saying that we don't have big campaigns running, but I always find our best campaigns and our best return on investment is the smaller niche stuff. Dallas is fire. Yes, Dallas is good, man. I hear a lot of good things. Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. Um, but the thing is, whatever market you're in, long as you're consistent, you're going to catch prospects at the right time. You should always be able to get a deal. Dallas is obviously competitive. You know, like Phoenix, but again, anyone can get a deal anywhere as long as you're consistent with it. And yeah, you're gonna catch the prospect at the right time. Sugar Snap says, "I'm in Georgia. Everything is open. Pretty sure we all had it. We've all had it already." If you're talking about COVID, yeah, I don't know. Knock on wood, I haven't gotten anything or had anything similar to that at all, unless it was just like asymptomatic. I don't know, but either way, dude. I think we're all going to be fine, but we gotta,
Soon, bro.
yeah, soon, but we gotta stay within, whatever our jurisdictions are. If we don't have a gym to go to, you may have to go get some dumbbells from, you know, from Walmart or something, kettlebells or something, and work out from home, and then do your outside exercise. Obviously, you can do that anywhere. So sometimes you gotta get a little creative. Perfect, perfect. Ira, what's up, dog?
What up, bro?
Dude, look at Ira's profile picture right here.
Yeah, man. Tell me about it.
Dude, model status, Ira, model. Yeah, well, Ira is also a lead manager for us. He's really awesome. But his profile photo. What is this? Gonna go for like Times Magazine or something? Just sporting it. I love it, dude. I love it. I thought I drank a lot of water, but now I find myself running to the bathroom. Yeah. Um, hey, got to stay hydrated. Elijah, in Atlanta market, I have good and bad properties, but I've added everything, so I don't miss a beat. There you go. I
Way to
think
go.
that's always that's always in the back of your mind, right? When you see something that has like a couple little things wrong with it, you're like, should I add this one?
Right.
Should I
I get that a lot
not?
too, man.
You know? But
But whatever I feel, half-hearted on a certain property, I
yeah,
just pass it on. I just move
there you
along.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. Because I mean, yeah, we're not trying to build a huge list. We want it to be niche. Because I know somewhere along the line, I probably have the data on that property. Um, but if there's just a few little things, I don't second guess it. I typically just pass on it. But hey, whatever works for you. I mean, ultimately, if you add it to your list, it's just another 14, 15 cent, whatever you pay for skip tracing, to get the information to give them a call. So, um, again, we're just trying to keep it super duper niche, but you can do it any way you want for sure. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I got lost in the comments again. Here we go. BatchDriven has glitched all week. Is this the norm? Eden, I've had some issues with it this week as well. Maybe it's because we're all like bombarding the servers. I don't know. But what is cool though is they've been adding a few features like the whole bubbles for the data, because
Right.
what happens is the app itself takes a lot of your battery. It's like if you play on Go, that was like roasting your battery, right? Same thing, because it's like there's a lot of data on the map that is trying to load all at once. So they've updated a few things to make it where you can still organize it and you can still see everything. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here. Um, but in a way that it's not just gonna like take forever to load because there's like so much data that would have to load if they didn't do it this way. So I think they're making some updates to the app as well. As far as like you're going to be able to soon track your driving for dollar route. So when you're on your computer, you can track the routes that you were doing yesterday from your computer so you don't do it again. And also, it'll help you keep track of like the neighborhoods you've been in already. Especially as time goes on, you're going to see like, oh my gosh, I think I've been everywhere here. Right. But you'll be able to see it because it's going to start tracking your routes. So, like, yeah, look at our map. Like, where's my camera? There's so much stuff here, and if they didn't do it this way, it would like be all these pins. So I know that they've been making some updates, and it was slow for me. I think it was today, Friday. I think Tuesday or Wednesday, it was like
Yeah,
really, really slow.
that's true.
Um, yeah, I'm sure. Did you have the same thing, Sari?
Yes, I actually had multiple issues in a single day, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess they were doing some maintenance and updates on it, and everything turned out fine.
Right. So yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday was a little bit slower, but we're still able to do it. Like I was driving for dollars and I was like having to like pull over sometimes just to let the property load so I can add it. But we're still able to get it in. Yesterday it was much, much faster. I was like the way it was before. I can basically just have my car driving like 20 mile an hour and I was like boom, 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 boom. You know, especially if you're in the right area, you should be able to add them really quickly. So yesterday it was much faster. I'll keep you guys posted on today. Of course, you guys are using the app too. So always like put it in the BatchDriven Facebook group. If you guys are having some issues, sometimes what we do is I screen record it on my phone just by scrolling down. There's like a little button down here for screen recording. I'll screen record it if I'm having any issues, and I'll just send it to the batch driven team within the app where you can submit a ticket. I send them the screen recording so they can see what I see on my end, and typically they're really fast with getting it back. Awesome. Yep. Hey, Roger. Definitely the driving for dollar list. You guys can start sending them today. So Friday and Saturday is the days where you can send in your list, and we format them. We get them into batch leads so we can start the campaigns on Monday. So typically, I would like the cutoff to be Saturday afternoon, so that way we have enough time to add them into the campaigns for the following week. So starting today. Yep, I actually already had a few come in. Freddie says, "Do you buy in mobile home parks where there is a lot rental fee?" Negative. Do not, never, ever buy in a mobile home park. Or what we have here in Phoenix is we have a lot of 55 plus communities that have really high HOAs, right? So the price itself is like pretty good. The mobile home, and they own the land, but the deal killer for most investors is the HOA is really high. It's like buying into like high rises that, you know, like we even have them here in Phoenix. There's one that I can think of. It's near downtown, great views, and the like the price for the condos is super cheap. Like I mean, you're talking for like a two bed, two bath condo near Central Phoenix with like uh, southern exposure where you can see the city and the mountains. It's like $90,000, right? But the reason why it's $90,000 is the HOA is almost $1,000 a month, so it kills the price. So same thing with here in Phoenix. We don't buy in mobile home parks where they don't own the land, and we don't buy in communities that have really high homeowners associations. So that's something for you guys to check out when you're looking at properties, especially if they're priced competitively. It's like, oh my gosh, this is a good price. Double check the HOA. That could be a deal killer, just like it is in some subject to deals. Now we can buy the whole mobile home park itself, right? But not a mobile home within the park. We'd rather buy the whole park, and we'd own the land of the whole park, right? It's called in Phoenix. It's called fee simple ownership. We have ownership of all like all land. We have the improvements, and we have the air rights. So all three rights is fee simple. Elijah, awesome, man. Yeah, just you can send those over. Matt Beard at vahub.com. I have one of my virtual assistants helping me get that prepared in Batch Lead so we can start the campaigns. Every list you guys send, I tag your name, your first and last name. So with any lead that comes up from the data that we have and we're marketing to, I can track it back to say, okay, who sent me this over? Great, it was Elijah. Got it. I'll make sure to let Elijah know. Perfect. Andre, I forgot to send mine. I'll send in a bit. Definitely, man. I mean, you got until tomorrow afternoon. That's all good. No rush. Um, awesome. 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 990 challenge. Just made 2 lists. I'll send mine today. Awesome. Yep. Just send it over whenever you get a chance. Send an email. Is that correct? What's that? Yep. Mattbeard at vahub.com. We'll just you can send it in starting today. Deadline, the cutoff for the marketing campaigns. If you want your data to be marketed to next week, the deadline is Saturday. So if it isn't in by Saturday, we'll probably add it on to the following week. Wait, are you offering a deal? I missed it. What is it? So Donna, we're not. It's no special deal. It's just a part of the 990 challenge. So what we're doing, if you haven't watched the previous videos, I'll be happy to explain it. With the 990 challenge, the folks that are virtually driving for dollars and physically driving for dollars, we're offering to skip. So basically, it's almost like an evolution of Pace's no excuse program, right? We're offering to skip trace the data, text it, cold call it, do the acquisition, right? Negotiate with the seller, do the disposition, the whole other than the driving for dollar part, which you had already done. We're going to take it from there and do everything else. And we're going to split the deal 50-50. And our 50% goes to a pool where the 50% that we collect is going to be a giveaway at the end of January. We're going to be flying anywhere from 3 to 8 people out, depending on how much money is sitting in that pool. We're going to put them in a hotel. We're going to have them come down to our office, see our organization, see what we're doing. They're going to hang out with Tino and Nick, the acquisition folks, the junior acquisition folks, see the whole business on the back end, drive some projects with Pace. And then on Sunday, we're going to do, so it's going to be like a Wednesday to Sunday thing. And on Sunday, we're going to do one-on-ones, me, Cody, and Pace with you guys, whoever is exciting. So if you're part of the 990 challenge, just be sure to send us your list. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I sent from Washington. I thought you were gonna. Yeah, that's okay. Problem with it at all. So that's good. Don't worry about it. Like we have a lot of stuff primarily here in Phoenix, but I told you guys that if you have leads in whatever state, we'll be happy to do the same thing and see if we can get some deals. I don't care where they're at. If they're here in the United States and someone wants to sell their property, let's get them on the phone. Let's talk to these people. Hey, what's up, Rick? Awesome, Leanna. Yep, just email it over. Andre says, "Wait, are we allowed to send you guys driving for dollar properties that are not in Phoenix?" So Pace said primarily in Phoenix, right? But I'd be happy to still do some stuff outside of it. Again, I don't care where the seller's at. If you guys have some like really, really niche list in other markets, send them over. We'll see if we can get some deals. How do we send our list and what is the format you want? So, Rick, if you are a part of the 990 challenge, I'm just going to share my screen real fast. So, if you're a part of the 990 challenge, you'll get this folder. And within this folder, it goes over, keeping track of your leads and how to put them into folders within BatchDriven. And then this, I think, well, actually, it's in this video as well. No. It's in video 4. Sorry. So keeping track of it is video 3, how to use the folders. And then video 4, I go over how to export your data within BatchDriven and email it over to me. So I have it all right here on this. So any question you have or anything you need to know about the 990 and driving for dollars, I address it here in this folder. So If you don't have access to this folder, be sure to just send me your email address and I'll be happy to send it over. So I had some folks actually enter in this address, but the link sharing is turned off. It's private, so you have to get an invitation. So just send me a message. I'll be happy to get it to you. Let's see. What area in Arizona? So I address that as well in the folder. So if you're in the 990 challenge, send me a message. Send me an email, Matt Beard to VA Hub. I'll get you in for sure. Joseph, Matt, when you're dealing with pre foreclosures, do you mention that you know they're in foreclosure? Yes. I mean, I don't come out and say, hey, you're in foreclosure. How can I help you? It's, it's almost, again, in the script, and I've had some videos on it. When we talk to folks in foreclosure, it's important to position yourself on their team, right? They're getting people calling them, bombarding them, wanting to buy their property. You have to be a specialist that cares about them as a person, right? Because if they wanted to sell their property, they probably would have already done it, right? They probably would have done it months ago, way before they got to the point where they had to sell it, right? So what you do is this is my approach. I'm sure maybe other people have different ways, but what I do is I go, instead of me being against the seller, it's like, okay, let's work together. And it's important that you, like, a part of my sales process is always, I always throw rocks at the enemy, right? Who's the enemy in this case? The enemy is the big bad lender, right? So whenever I'm working with the prospects in foreclosure, it's like, can you believe what they're trying to do? Right? Do you know what's going on? Right? It's always they're the people trying to take their house, which, I mean, they say it like, yeah, I don't know why they want to take my house. Like, I can't believe that, man. You know? But you're always on their side, and it's you guys versus the big bad lender, instead of, hey, you're in foreclosure, I want to buy your property, I want to help. Like, that's very disingenuous. Like, when someone says, I'm here to help, like, you're not here to help me, right? You don't even know who I am. You don't even know my last name. You don't even know anything about me, right? But what I do is I want to learn more about what's happening in their situation, happening in their life. How can I come and be a place of service? So when you're working with someone in foreclosure, you're coming from a place of service, and when you do that, you get their trust, right? And this is not like, I'm not doing anything underhand. I'm not doing anything that I wouldn't do just naturally as a person. If I know something that can help someone save their house, I'm going to do that if it's what's best for them and their family. But I also disclose that, hey, and I tell the seller this, like, listen, the only way I get paid is if I buy your house. But if I know something that can help you keep your house, I'm going to tell you everything that's available. And then you can decide what's best, right? But let's work together on it. And when I come from that place, you guys would be surprised more oftentimes than not that I get the deal, I get a contract, even if I'm a plan B, I'll end up getting the contract. And if I don't, and I still come from the same place, a couple weeks down the road, month down the road, these people are still having financial distress. Guess who they're going to call? They're going to call you because you cared about them and their situation. I have sellers calling me from a year ago that I had talked to, that I helped them save their house, and now they're at the point because of COVID and everything. They're like, Matt, I just want to sell it. Right? I think we're ready to just move on. Perfect. Right? How can I help you guys? So that's just a little something that we do for foreclosures.
There you go, people. You just learned it from the master firsthand. I mean, his approach is always like this. So I'm just loving your style, man. Rock on.
Definitely, definitely, dude, definitely. That's the way it's got to be. Because I mean,
Right.
what I think about is like, how would I want to be talked to? You know,
Exactly.
it's like, I don't want somebody
Treat them
like,
how they want it to be treated, right?
yeah, I don't want somebody talking fast, telling me I need this or need that, or being like, oh, well, I'm gonna go buy another property if you don't sell me yours. It's like, dude, I just don't like it. So I just try to talk to people like I would want to be talked to, real human being to human being, having a real interaction. And if hey, but it's okay, you know, it's got to be both ways. So that is how we do's it. If you can't find comps for a property but know what it rents for, how would you determine your buy price? So I'm curious what you mean when you can't find comps. So typically, right, we'll first go back 6 months with similar characteristics. Are you first off, are you talking about multifamily or are you talking about single family? Because that could be a real big indicator, right? And if you know that other multifamilies are renting for a similar like price per door, then you can have a good idea of where it would be, right? So especially if it's like an F class multifamily, and typically I know here in Phoenix, F class multifamily, $50,000 per door is where we kind of want to be at. It depends on the area. Maybe we can go up to 70, but that's if it rents out for, over a 1-to-1 ratio. So if it's $70,000, will it rent out over 700 $700 per door? But depending on if the value add is we need to do work, then we can base that price on that. But if you're talking about single family, um, typically we go back 6 months, look for similar characteristics. If you're in rural areas, I have my appraiser license, so and we used to do this in South Carolina, so it's pretty rural. I can go up outwards to like 5 miles if there's nothing. So I start small. So right, I go back 6 months, nothing. I go back 12 months, nothing. Okay, I don't want to go back any further than that because like how much the market changes. I don't want to go back any further in a year. Now I'll start going out a little bit, right? In like Gilbert, where I live here in the greater Phoenix area, it's pretty urban. So I'll start with going a mile, and I should be able to find something. But if you're in a rural area and you still don't find anything in a mile, just go out slowly to upwards to about 5 miles. And if you still can't find anything, then you can start tweaking your parameters a little bit, right? Because typically square footage will go up 20%, down 20%, right? Age, we try to stay within 10 years depending on like the structure type. Is it a block construction or a wood frame construction? So like you can really go down the rabbit hole, but there should be no reason where you can't find a good price on a property, even in some of the more rural areas. You can base it off of other properties, and you can start expanding your parameters if needed. Maybe instead of 20% up, 20% down on square footage, you can go 30%, 30%, and then base your price off of price per square foot. So, without getting too crazy in depth on this question, if you have any more, like if you want me to break it down a little bit further, just send me a message. I'll be happy to. So once a month or so, or every week. So Claudio, we do it every week. So, but instead of every day, it's every week. So by the end of the week, we should have, between me, Meech, and Sari, we should have about 1,500 properties. So we take those 1,500 and we put them in a campaign following week. So that's, I mean, guys, that's 6,000 properties a month. That's a lot of data. And this is like a niche campaign. So you're going to have more data doing this than you would your pre-foreclosures, your divorce, and your other campaigns. So this is a really good list. Craig says, "What about small houses, like 660 square feet? Is there a limit to how small the house is for Not at all, man. Not at all. What, Craig? If you're here in Phoenix, why do people buy those 660 square foot houses? They buy those because the value add is to make an addition. So typically the 660 square foot is probably like a 2 bed, 1 bath. Investors love those to make an addition to the back, or maybe close in the Arizona room or the porch out back and make it a 3-2, right? So absolutely 660 square foot is totally okay. And depending on the area, like you even still see some of those small ones in like some of the areas in Phoenix that are being built up, like near Encanto and the historical areas, where they'll just tear some of those buildings down and just buy it for the land. So definitely, I would still add those, no doubt, because there's still a ton of value in the land. And if the house is crappy and it's beat up and the roof's caving in, maybe someone would just level it, right? Or maybe someone will see it as like, okay, this is a great potential to add on to this little building, or we can make us a 3-2. with just a little bit of work and add a bathroom and add a bedroom. So definitely, I would still add those. Yes, sir. Just email those over. I got you. Yo yo is Mike says, is there a promo code? Mike, the promo code is 990. So if you just go to batchdriven.com/990, you should see it just fine. But if there's a place to put in a promo code, you just put 990. So that way you get your 50 free skip traces. Due to batch driven glitches, put all manually into batch driven. Any easier way? So we've still been able to use it. I'm interested to see what glitches that have been happening for you, and if they're still persisting, do a screen recording and send that to the support team. There's no reason why you should
Right.
have to do it manually,
Right.
because I mean, Siri, you're doing it in the Philippines, and you're still been able to
Yeah.
stay on track this week, right?
Right. That's true. I mean, glitches are very minimal for me, so
Hmm.
I kind of want to know what glitch she's having. That way we could address it.
Yeah. So Eden, if you want to comment what it's been looking like, again, screen record it too, so you can send it to the support team. Naomi says the biggest challenge is knowing which neighborhood to go to. I'm starting to
Right.
know pretty quickly if a neighborhood is good, but sometimes I'm not sure, and 30 minutes will go by with nothing. Yeah, that's when I would maybe implement some virtual driving for dollars, or I would right? I would pull zip codes where all the transactions are happening, so when you're driving to an area, it's like, oh my gosh, they've had over 70 transactions in the last month and a half here, or they've had over 100 over the last month. Like this is really 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 hot. You're in a good area when that's the case, because not that many transactions does not happen in high end neighborhoods. Let's see. Claudio says, "How many leads to a deal roughly with virtual driving for dollars?" Thanks for all your answers. Yeah, definitely, man. I feel like if I like, for example, Pace had a list of 183, and we got a hot lead out of the 183. So I think generally we should be able to get at least one lead for every two. That doesn't mean it's a deal, a lead. So typically it takes us about 15 leads to get a deal. So if you do the math, anywhere from, you know, what is that? 15 times 200 is 3,000. Yeah.
Hmm.
So probably about 3,000 on the list to get a deal. 40 a day, have a few hundred this week. Awesome, man. Hey, Michelle, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for hopping on the live. What do you think it is when it won't pull up the property? Crappy houses, or some of them just won't come up? Yeah, I've had that experience as well in some areas. For any ones that don't come up in batch driven, I just write the address down, and then I go and like do like a real people search or some other like tax record search to see if I can find the homeowners of that property. If it's not coming up, because every now and then I'll get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, and then every now and then I click one, it says property not found, right? Sometimes I'll wait, I'll back out of the app, I'll go back in. Sometimes it'll find it, but then sometimes it just doesn't have the information on it. So I'll write it down and I'll go back and I'll look at other search methods. Awesome. They need to do updates at night when we're not using batch driven. I agree, man. But the thing is, like, we have people all over the world using it too. Like, I had some guy send me a list from Europe. He's like living in Europe, driving for dollars in Phoenix.
Wow.
Yeah. So, like, there's people doing this thing 24/7. I agree with you though. I wish that they wouldn't have to do any work ever. I wish that it was just like the best. And but the thing about it is with like software, you always got to like debug it. You're always trying to make it a little bit better, making it a little bit better. Is batch driven similar to deal machine? So Jesse, I can't speak on deal machine because I've never used it. Um, machine. It was just really expensive for me to use the app because I wasn't going to send mailers, and I thought like, okay, this is an app to send mailers, but I know it does so much more than that. But the skip tracing is still very expensive. Batch driven was made in the beginning to be like very cost efficient for folks. They're like, okay, well, what about me if I can't afford a VA right now, or maybe I don't want to spend the money on a VA, even if I have it because I want to see a proof of concept. And what I don't have, or I don't want to spend a bunch of money on pulling a bunch of lists and then paying for software for a power dialer and paying for software to do all these other things. Like, what's the most cost effective way to get a deal? And there's two things, right? One of those things is door knocking, specifically door knocking pre foreclosures. And number two, so batch driven was made to have all the features like that you could possibly need in the field, an interactive map, and it was built around like it was called Go Knock because you go knock on pre foreclosures and get deals. That's probably how I got my first, gosh, 25 deals was door knocking pre foreclosures. So it's very effective, and it was like I didn't spend a bunch of money doing it either, but I also got very good at talking to people because I had to like think fast on my toes when I was at the door talking to a seller. So like door knocking is obviously very effective. And then we like, okay, well, let's have a really awesome platform. Well, the developers did, and the owners of batch driven. Like, let's have a really awesome platform to where, if you don't want to go door knock, then you can still build a very robust list of motivated sellers where just from like deferred maintenance on properties. And if you're already out looking at the foreclosures, you're already door knocking. Why not drive for dollars? Or why not just drive for dollars in general? So they made it to where you can do it from home on your couch virtually. And, if you're in the field, you can pull the property right up right there, skip trace it. I think it's like ends up being like 17 cents a skip trace or something, which is much cheaper than the alternative. And yeah, you can also send mailers and all other kind of cool stuff and do text campaigns within the app. And I love Batch Driven personally because yes, it does all these things, but ultimately it's under the umbrella of Batch, and we use batch leads for batch services for like everything, right? Texting, skip tracing. Batch leads is the hub for all of our data. So it only made sense to go with a software that integrates with everything else that we're doing instead of, grabbing software from other services. So I hope that helps. But ultimately, the thing is, with anything, you can take my word for it or anyone else because everybody's going to say their stuff is the best. That's just the way it is. Everybody's going to say it. You got to find what works for you. So if Deal Machine works better for you, Deal Machine. Batch Driven works better for you, Batch. Prop Stream, whatever you use, the idea is the same. How do I get the person that I want to get on the phone or on the text? How am I going to talk to the right person? And how can I get in front of them or get them on the phone to get a deal? So the idea is the same regardless of whatever platform you use. Uh, limit on the list we submit we need to adhere to. No, as long as like you guys are pulling ugly properties, no, like it doesn't matter. Like we're gonna skip trace it and we're gonna call it. So send over what you got, and of course we'll tag you in it. And if you're doing it with a partner, just be sure to like let me know their name too. So I'll just tag both of you guys in the same. So instead of it just being Eden Russum, it'll be both of you guys, Eden Russum and Nate Barnett. Elijah, can we send you a list that are from our personal market, or would rather virtually drive for dollars Phoenix? We would prefer. It depends on what market you're in, but we would prefer Phoenix. But if you're in Atlanta, you're in Florida, some markets in California, Washington, Las Vegas, obviously here in Phoenix, in most markets in Texas, like we're already doing some stuff there anyway. So we'll be happy to help you guys. Um, uh, help you guys with your list there. Oh no, man, good. Keep them coming. I know like it takes me forever to answer all these, so by the time I answer one, it's already like asked again. So like I'll just go through them anyways. Happy to. Andrew says, "Man, I love the virtual driving for dollar option, but when it comes to the app, it's so much lag. Also, when you try to look for leads, the filters uh, don't pros and tech for the equity, not a good filter. Andrew, um, I'm gonna click out of your question just because it takes up most of the screen. Um, but I want to answer it because I want to. I guess it comes down to your internet connection too. I haven't had any issue with lag. I mean,
True.
there's been little things, but like the Siri's the best example here.
Right.
Sari is just, he's here, he's there in the Philippines, and he's able to connect just fine. Um, and then as far as the filters are concerned, mine isn't preset for 1040. Mine is like the bars go all the way. So I would just double check your settings as a user pro under your user profile to make sure you're good to go. And again, if the like I'm not a part of the support team, I'm just a user of the platform. But if the problem keeps persisting, screen record, take a screenshot, send it to the support team, and I promise you they'll be on top of it to make sure that they fix whatever issues that you're seeing. So, Michelle, send it on over, girl. Sorry, I'm Facebook user with my name, but I commented on the last video to get full details. 98 challenge. Definitely. So is it Sion? How would you say that, Sarah? You think Sion? Sion?
Yeah, Sion. Yeah.
Sion. Okay.
Doing
Sion,
fine, man.
awesome. I'll be happy to send that over to you. If you want to send me your email, which you have it here, the chance of me going back and putting it into the list from the live video, I don't want it to fall through the cracks and not send it to you. So if you want, if you just want to email your email to me, mattbeard@vahub.com, I'll get you. I'll get you in there for sure. Yeah, the only area is Arizona, correct, for the challenge. That's our primary area for sure. We would, if we had the choice, we would prefer folks to do here in Arizona, but I would never turn someone away who is working out outside, working out inside, doing all the 9 action items. And you're like, oh well, Matt, I have this list here in this other market. Like, okay, cool, send it over, let's do it, right? Beth says this is actually way cool. Just sent my first batch. Love it, Beth. I can't wait.
There you go.
Like last week, guys, I was kind of like, oh man, because like I was super excited to start the campaigns on Monday, and like thank you guys for those who sent your list last week. Super grateful for you. Like thank you for doing that. But I was expecting way more. I was expecting like to be like 80, 90 emails of people sending me their list. So I was ready for it, and it didn't happen. So I want to see it this week. I want to see everybody send me their list because we're going to make it happen. That's for sure.
Keep it coming, guys.
Keep it coming.
We're ready for it.
On average, how many driving for dollar leads does it take per deal? So I would probably say 3,000 total per deal. To be conservative, I would hate to say like, oh yeah, we get one in every 1,000 or whatever. I think that's a good conservative number. Awesome. Thanks, Elijah. Thanks, Michelle. Um, yeah, Eden, you got it. Lamar, my 990 challenge has been great. I've been driving for dollars locally here in Pennsylvania and virtually in Arizona. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's get some deals. I'll send my Vegas list. See if you can close one. Dude, see if I can close one. It's gonna happen. All right. You send the list. I promise you, I'm gonna close the deal. 100%. It's my duty and it's my obligation to close these deals. Like we have a door knocking team, guys, that are here in Phoenix, and like a part of getting started is I like to go out with my door knocking team. You can see what they're saying at the door, and I can see like what's happening. Like especially for the folks that are like struggling and they're not getting any appointments. I make it a mission within myself that when I take someone out, like typically, I mean, it could take people weeks to get an appointment, but I make it a mission within myself. Like when I go out, I'm getting an appointment. When I go out, I'm getting an appointment. I don't care. We're not stopping today until we get an appointment. And lo and behold, every single time when I take someone out, we're getting an appointment. So I'm just like, I always put it out in the universe. So if like same thing when it comes to leads, it comes to opportunities. We're going to get right? You got to perform that job. You guys virtually for dollars, and hopefully we'll record all the calls so you can learn, what we're saying, how we're saying it. But our job is to get these deals, man. So we're excited. Just send the list. Like we're gonna get the deals. Single family. I went back a year and out 1.5. Yeah, so keep go out a little bit further. Depending on if you're in a metropolitan area or urban area, you can go upwards of 3 miles. Um, Depending on the criteria. So I mean, some properties are weird, right? So single family split levels are a little bit different, but you can always make adjustments depending if it's a two level and you're comparing to a single level home, amenities, bed, bath. Like you can make all those adjustments. So maybe I will look at what you have in that 1.5 mile area. And if you literally have nothing, like no houses whatsoever, then keep going out. But if you have some houses in that 1.5 mile, which I would probably venture to say you do, um, I will look at what they're sold for. So you'll have a good idea of the market area, right? For properties that maybe they don't have the same characteristics, but you'll have an idea of what people are paying for a house in that little 1.5 mile radius. Ian says, "Let me start. I feel like you talk to them like you're their friend. Do you have something on YouTube? Your selling style or training videos? Awesome demeanor. Yeah, I don't have anything on Facebook, but Cody and I are working on a virtual assistant course, and I think it was a live for BatchDriven at some point where someone was asking like how we go about the pre foreclosure stuff. Um, I kind of break it down a little bit further, but I'll be happy to try to put something together for you guys. Like it will be free, but how we go about having these conversations because that's all it is. I think um, what I did um, what I did in the beginning when I first started real estate is I had a mentor and I was a realtor and I was so nervous. I was so nervous about going to meet with sellers who wanted to sell their property to list it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what do I need to say? How does a listing presentation go? What like is there something I need to go over? I need to go over this big packet of comps and do all these things. And my guy and my good friend who was my mentor, he's like, dude, you don't have to do any of that. Just go be yourself, right? Just like your best value that you could ever give anyone is you. So when I took that approach and it just took all the pressure off when I was doing my listing presentations and it just flowed naturally and it was cool because I'm on their side. Same thing with this business or real estate investing. It takes all the pressure off when I know I'm communicating with someone like I'm doing with you guys here, like I'm doing with Sari and how I do my team. There's no pressure, you know. I'm just talking to a human being, and it's fun. It's lighthearted. It's, like I know that I can connect with folks. I can have the empathy or whatever audience that whatever person I'm talking to. I feel like I can relate to them, and I can tell stories, and it's just like how I would with my best friends or my wife or anyone. Just talking to them, and I think uh, for a lot of folks is don't overcomplicate it. I think that's one of the biggest things that I could tell you guys is just be yourself. Yourself, you'll always be the best value to anyone just by being you. Okay, Conyers, Georgia. So Conyers is definitely more rural. Go out, man. Go out a few more miles. I don't. I have family that live in Conyers. They live in Georgia. I'm from South Carolina. I live in Arizona now, but I know go out a little bit further. Um, I've been finding a lot of dirty homes, like dirty siding, but not too much deferred maintenance. Do you add those to your? Yeah, dude. Like, how much money does it cost for somebody to power wash their house?
Right.
Like, if you're not power washing the house or you don't care, like, let me talk to you.
Here we go.
I love it. I love it. So you know what? They actually sell a power wash machine down at Home Depot. You can rent it if you want to clean your house. uh, awesome. App freezes when right in front of the property. It wouldn't come up, but for most part, freezing constantly. Hope that helps. Yeah, if you want, if you can, make sure to share that with the support team so they can double check your internet connection. Because again, before the update, it took a lot of data to keep that map up measuring. It's like the little dot for you as you're going through the streets. It took a lot of data for it to have the interactive map while you're doing that. So it could be the reason why it was freezing. Let's just make sure that they got make sure they keep you up to date. I've added houses in Utah for all this and addresses. The houses didn't match the county record, so I had to skip trace and add them information manually. Um, so when you, I'm confused. So when you added the property on the map, you clicked on the property, the address didn't match the homeowner, or how did that work? Justice, my dude, what's going on, man? Bro, Matt, I finally got my first contract 49 days into door knocking,
Wow.
6 days a week, knocked 171 pre foreclosures, and followed up like crazy. Thank you for all the tips you've given me along the way. Justice, bro, congratulations. We got to get you on next
There
week
you
so we
go.
can talk about it. Justice is the man. He came on these lives and he would ask questions, but ultimately, you just took action, dude. You're just out there knocking on doors. Like, it's not rocket science, but the thing is, it's not very attractive. It's not like the shiny object. But this is how you get a deal. If you want to be cost effective and you want to get started, we'll give you all the resources you need. But ultimately, again, just your number of resources relating to them, 49 days of taking action, 6 days a week. You deserve it, man. You freaking deserve it. Congratulations. With the $50 subscription, you only get vacant. Even most of them are investment properties. It says most of them have been bought recently. Yeah, so I mean that's just a part of it. When you're virtually driving for dollars, um, you're gonna find a lot of folks that if the map. What I always look at is like when the photo of the street had been taken, like of the house. So like sometimes it's like 2017, 2018, for some of the like the non-urban areas. Sometimes 2019, and then I click on the house, and if it's been bought in 2020 or any time after that photo, I'm doing it virtually, right? But if if it still looks like crap, and the last time titles changed is like 1995 or early 2000s, definitely add it. Another thing to look at is when the sale price is zero, and it looks like it had been sold in 2020. I always double check those because sometimes it's just like someone had passed away and someone had got the property like via probate or an inheritance. So could still be an opportunity. I know, bro. Let's go, Justice. What happens after we send the list? So Carla, you send the list to us. We format it for batch leads. All of the data gets put into batch leads, and we tag you guys based on the data that you sent. So we know whenever we text the list and we get a lead from that list, we'll let you know. It's like, hey, we spoke with Kara off of 123 Main Street. You sent that one over. Awesome. Just letting you know that we have an appointment with her on Friday, so we'll keep you in the loop of what happens. But we basically take everything from the time you send the list to the time we close it. We do everything. We'll record the acquisition call for training purposes. But yeah, we take it from there. And of course, we tag you in it so we can make sure we split the deal once we get anything from it. Lamar, I think I did, man. I'm pretty positive. I haven't checked my email since like when I woke up from the baby at like 4:30. So if you have sent it since then, I it's probably definitely in there. I'll check with you, and if I don't have it, I'll just send you a message. Definitely, definitely, absolutely, Andrew. Happy to help, man. Yeah, I thought challenge was everywhere, so we've been hustling on wheels, going driver dollar club. Yeah, absolutely. Happy to help. It took me 3 weeks to get my first appointment set, and they ended up pushing it back. Still trying to get the day figured out. Yes, bro. I actually have some for you, Justice. I have one in Mount Dora. I think that is near Orlando. I'll send it to you if you want to go. I actually have the lockbox code. I just need someone to go check it out. So if you want to go check it out and help me work with the seller, I'd happy to get you involved. And then I know you went and knocked on one for us, Sean. I got to give him a call too. So, bro, you're killing it. And again, anyone who wants to get some of our Florida, or these other places, if you come on these lives and you're like, hey, you're door knocking, you're asking questions, you're going to be the first person I reach out to on some of our own personal company leads to help us get with some of these sellers. And of course, like we'll bring you in on the deal. So Justice, great work, man. Um, Ina says, do you do one-on-one coaching? So right now we do one-on-ones for our VA Hub clients for like consultations, but I'll be happy to do some stuff on. I'll be happy to do some stuff on Zoom. Kevin, what's going on? What's going on? Have a carrot site. Yep. Great work, man. SEO. I mean, there's so many ways to get deals here, right? But we always try to find the most cost effective, and that's why we do batch driven. But not saying you can't get a deal. We have a carrot site as well, but it's more like a post in the ground. So when someone asks for us and our credibility, great. Here's our website. Nice, Florence, South Carolina. I'm from Orangeburg, so I don't know if you know Orangeburg. But then I live in Lexington because I went to University of South Carolina. So Florence is right up the road, man. After losing, yes, that's what I'm saying. You have a website, you can easily lose a lot of money real quick. I turned $49 into a $6,500 to $13,000 assignment. It's life changing, bro. Got two leads just throwing the deal right now. Let's go.
You're rocking it, Justice.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. That changes everything, right? That changes everything. So now,
Indeed.
when you get that assignment, bro, it's important to understand like marketing. If you wanted to make it consistent, then that's a whole other conversation. Now that you've been door knocking, don't stop doing what you're doing. Don't stop door knocking for opportunities because that's the foundation, right? But now that you have some more money to play with, definitely put some back into your business to help you with marketing so you have leads coming in so you can start going to these appointments. Owner financing or subject to, which one is better? I guess it depends on the term. And I guess it's a deal by deal basis. Owner financing, you get 0% interest to where you're paying down 100% of the principal every single payment. So that's very attractive, especially if you get it at a price that'll cash flow, assuming that the property will appreciate. Very awesome. Subject to, you get a property with hardly anything out your pocket, right? You don't have to worry about structuring an owner finance. You don't have to worry about trying to write a brand new note and figure out the terms with the seller. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I think both of them are very powerful when you're trying to build a portfolio. You're trying to collect properties and do it with as little out of your own pocket as possible. Both of them are very, very good. Owner financing, takes a little bit more ninja negotiations, right, to get the right terms, to get the right down payment that will make sense. But both of them very, very powerful. I would not put one over the other. I think it's important to know how to do both. Let's see. Definitely, man. Should I cancel batch leads? I get batch. Could have canceled deal machine batch driven. They're two different purposes, Roger. Batch leads is for like we do our big campaigns and it's our hub for all of our data. Batch driven is for our driving for dollars and our door knocking, and we obviously can text our driving for dollar list within batch driven. Heading out now to DFD. Thanks for all your help. See, yeah, man. Thanks, Lamar. Thanks for hopping on, man.
Good luck, Lamar.
Do you guys do San Bernardino? Send us your list, man. We'll get a deal. Again, I don't care where it's at. We'll get a deal anywhere, any city, anywhere. I don't care. Here in Dallas Fort Worth, we'd love to start door knocking. Let's go, guys. If you're in DFW, reach out to Eden. Go squat up with her and go door knock. I like door knocking, but I like it a lot better when I got somebody with me because they got my back. So if someone tries to start doing something crazy, I got back up. Not that it's never happened, but it's also cool to go with somebody because you can just talk shop the whole time. You can talk about real estate, like the conversations that would bore my wife to death. I can have with somebody while I'm door knocking, right?
There we go.
So the last thing that I try to talk to my wife about is like, oh, babe, we got this deal, and this deal, we're going to make how much money on it, and it's so cool, and then we're doing this texting, and we're calling, and then, Sari
Yeah.
She like, what do we for dinner? Right? She cares none. So when you're door knocking and you're out doing the business, and like it's cool to have people you can go with, so you can share the struggle with. Definitely, Roger. We don't have anything in Vegas right now, but I'll keep you in mind when something pops up, especially if like pre foreclosures and some of these sellers they get slippery. So it's good to be able to have someone to go out to talk to them. Robin, absolutely here to help. That's the whole purpose of doing these videos every single week. We're here to serve. We're here to help. Like I love talking, right? Apparently, and I love having my teammates on, having Siri. We have a good time, but ultimately, like these things are only as good as you guys make it. Like coming on and asking good questions, and figuring out better ways that we can serve you guys. That's the whole purpose of us doing these lives. So we're thankful for you too. Lewis says, "Hola, Matt. Thanks for the live. My 7 day free trial ends tomorrow. I signed up for the 119, got excited, and I like to keep it, but due to my low budget, I'd like to keep the $49 for now instead. Who can we reach to make some changes? Thanks." So if you want to reach out to, I'm going to give you guys her email, BatchDriven. Landry. So Landry would be the person you want to email just to make sure you can downgrade your account. So she'll be able to help you. Abdul says, I just got a deal, 12 and a half down, 0% financing, 15K equity, $899 including tax insurance. Margaret, perfect, man. That's a good little deal. $300 cash flow, take out expenses and anything else. Like it should still cash flow. And the great part about it is you get to cash flow a little bit, but the real win there is the 0% financing. That's great. I have some dark for all these. Look forward to send you the list. I definitely liked it. Dallas Market, Squad Up. There you go. Hey, you guys link up. You guys go door knock together. Like you guys are like probably right down the road from each other. Might as well go door knock and learn. What I love the most, especially with folks that I don't go out with every day, or the folks that aren't on my team, I like to see what's working for other people and like bounce ideas off. There's no part of time that I'm closed off to new ideas. I don't care where or wherever someone's at in their business. Like we can have a great virtual business with like folks in the Philippines, and we're doing stuff in virtual markets. I still love talking shop with everybody. So you guys should squad up. That'll be a ton of fun. Thank you for everything. Super awesome session. Happy to help. Always happy to help. 14 days, 990 code. Yep. So we're happy to help, guys. Again, with the account stuff, reach out to Landry at BatchDriven. That's Pace's sister. She'll be happy to help. And there you go. Love to squat up and down at Fort Worth. You guys share your phone numbers here with each other so you guys can connect. Should be a ton of fun. But for this live, I think we'll wrap it up. We had a ton of questions. I appreciate everyone who came on. So welcoming to my guy, Sari. He's going to be on here a lot more often. I'm excited to have him. And, as we go on with our 990 challenge, hopefully we have some wins. We'll
You're going to have some wins.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have some wins to share with everyone here. Like Justice, I always talked about like, hey guys, I want you guys to be door knocking. Like I hope that you guys can come on live and just say, hey man, I got a deal like what Justice did today. And like, I'm so happy that he's winning because he took action. And that goes for everybody here. I can't wait to share some wins with you guys. And we're really starting a movement and I'm excited for it. So we'll wrap this up. I wanted to say thank you. I'll leave Sari for your final thoughts.
Well, just keep doing it and keep rocking it, folks. Take care, guys.
Sari says, keep doing it, keep rocking it, don't stop, keep going, get some deals. Let's go. It's Sari, guys. Serie. Sari.
There you go.
Not Siri like your phone, but Sari.
You got it, man. Thanks for clearing that out.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you next Friday.